the next stage, you might want one adrenaline packet. What is the next stage? Okay, it's the wood puppet. So, I usually get one or two of these for this stage. About 3 steaks, 3 gauze, and maybe like 2 or 3 of these. We're gonna pick up a coagulant just in case too. I believe I should be alright for this. Maybe like a steak, salad or something. So the next stage is the wood puppets. Probably one of my favorite stages because you can pick up my favorite character, which is Brainless Randy. So you can pick up a brain and save Randy. So I should, well, we'll go over that after the stage. Well, actually, so each stage has the first 5 stages, or the first 4 have a friend. Oh wait.
New worker.
First stage. So stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 has your friends that you saw there at the beginning of the game. Stage 5 has another character that you can get later called George. If you want to do the ending where you save all your friends, you can save them within the stage. Michelle's right there at that, right where you drive out at. So if you go and visit that place first, before you exit out, you can save her. This one has Randy in it, and you can... Generally, I don't save them because it's slow. So, anyway. And you can get a different ending. You can get the good ending. I found that the best way for this level right here is pretty much just walk right down the center from here. And you generally will avoid the traps. So if you just run straight down the middle. So this is where you start having to learn kind of patterns. I haven't learned all the different ones for this one quite yet.
Cool.
I want to say most of these ones actually are kind of set for the most part. Like that picture usually has a trap. So you'll pick up the axe from over here. There's a letter over here you can pick up, but you don't need it, so you can skip it. So it looks like there's a trap here. One of the complaints about this game is sometimes you think you can trigger a trap, and you obviously don't. Or like you flag it, is what I like to call it for the horror monitor. So hearing.
Cool.
I pretty much got all of our adrenaline back. So. I find it takes about,
Cool.
I think actually just running smack into the tracks takes like a couple extra seconds, so flagging them is actually quicker, I believe. But it still takes like a million years to do it sometimes. Oh man, look at that. And so, some stages it's easier just to run into the traps instead of trying to sit there and flag every single one, because you'll have like 3 traps set up, so it'll be like one here, one on the other side of that window, and then it'll be like a pile of blood or something down there, and you'll only catch like 3 of them. Sometimes, so it's a little bit on the annoying side. So there's Randy. we're not gonna save Randy in this run. But I would show you what to do if you decide to do. You want the good ending instead. So there's the ER. You can, if you have enough money, you can go in there, upgrade, do all that nonsense. And skip the cutscene. We'll take a safety save here. Just to kind of have a save. There's a set trap over here. It is right there. That trap will always be there no matter what run through. So that's one of the set ones. So we need a piece of twig from this guy, pick it up. Out of all the enemies, I find the Axeman probably the most annoying. And it's not the overhead swing, but sometimes they will do a wide swing, like that. And every time they do a wide swing and it hits you, it trips you up and you fall onto the floor. They're not super hard, but when they keep tripping you up, it's a pain in the ass. Okay, so we're going to take an adrenaline packet here. We'll wait a couple seconds for it to go down. That should be... So you see here as it's at 10. So that's another kind of set trap there. See? So it's at... The bleed effect's at 10, so it's not going up as much as I run around. If it were at 11, it would keep going up. I think that's the only... That's the only set trap there. Skip the cutscene. There's another set trap, like right there. Kind of overzealous in the running there. A couple of them right here. I thought there was one, maybe not.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, there was. So that's another thing I hate about. So as you looked around for that trap, it didn't flag it, which is kind of annoying. But we're gonna heal real quick. Again, Gauze-Wrap heals up to 40 bleed effect, so... Alright, so sometimes there's a fight right here. With puppets. Most of the time you won't get it. Sometimes you will. If you go into that room right there, that's where you find Randy's brain to give it back to him. So this right here, you'll put the twig in, and the code is always the same. So it's 9663. And I will put that up on.
Listen up, my wood-cutting slaves. You better be careful when you start tossing those humans in here. It's easy to slip. And then... you'll be a wood puppet too. I don't think you'd like that now.
So that's the code for this. It's always the same code no matter what. So I'll leave that up there for a second. While I'll let my heart rate go down. Alright, that should be good. Again, it's always the same code every time, so pretty easy to memorize. There's only like 3-4 codes you actually have to memorize to use. In the next stage, which is the longest stage, there's a lot going on. So like the first 3 stages don't have a lot. It's more of just kind of be careful, hug walls, stuff like that. Figure out, learn some of the patterns. Again, I haven't learned the patterns for this particular stage, like after stage 2. But once you run it maybe like a few hundred times, you'll pretty much learn it. Which is why my PB is so bad on the run. So this you gotta be kind of careful about, because there might be a trap right around the corner there, and you won't necessarily sense it in time. Because you're trying to go as fast as you can, so sometimes you run smack into the traps. But if you go slow, you eventually... That music's getting kind of intense. So you get turned into this wood puppet. I actually like wood puppet Eriko better than regular Eriko. I believe she does more damage. Again, skip cutscenes. This guy will trigger cutscene. He offers some type of booklet, but you really don't need it, so it's useless. So the same trick we used in the first stage, where you did the pause buffer, you can use it in this stage as well. And hopefully I don't screw up like the second stage and go to the wrong spot. So really you don't have to worry about any traps from after that point. It's more or less avoiding the axe people, the axemen. Occasionally you will have to fight them because they will pop out of a corner really quickly, like that. Again, you can use the same pause buffer trick, like that. Run smack around them. As soon as you see him pop back up around the corner, just pause it again. And pretty much, you should only run into maybe 3 of them, if you're lucky. And again, they only go up to a certain... They only follow you to a certain point. So you don't have to worry about them chasing you the whole time. But this is a lot quicker than trying to fight them. Potentially dying. If you're pretty good at fighting them, I would suggest fighting them. I don't like doing it because it takes too long. Basically, once you get to this point, he won't follow. They won't follow you anymore. And you won't see another one until... for a little bit, at least. So, again, you can pause buffer, you can fight them, and they won't... I fought, like, maybe... When I was doing it originally, I was fighting them. And I accidentally paused one time and found that trick. I haven't actually sat down to figure out if it was quicker. I just like doing that a lot more than sitting there fighting them. Because then it'll spawn another one later. And it's just easier to deal with 3 of them versus 5 or 6 of them. So you pick up the little termites, use them here. Again, the axemen only follow you to a certain point. So you can see him running around down there. He's trying to chase you, but you know, you're a level above him, so he doesn't quite recognize that. So the wood puppet Eriko, she can't jump. I think she's actually stronger. I'm not sure if you actually take more damage or not. Again, there's a safety save up here if you need to take it. I think there's like an iron heart or something up here. Or like plasma. Oh, steak. There's a steak here if you need it. I'm pretty sure there's a plasma up here. But anyway, so you got different upgrades you can have. So the adrenaline and the iron heart are the best upgrades in this game. Because the adrenaline makes it to where you have more, you can use the horror monitor more. So you don't have to worry about the axemen until right about here. And there's going to be one right around the corner. And that is set every time. Pause buffer him there so I can get around him. We're going to pause again. Ooh, I might be a little bit too close. Oh, no, too close. So again, fighting these guys is a pain in the butt. Sometimes you can kill them really quickly, and sometimes they take a million hits. And I'm not sure if it's these particular guys that just take a lot, or if it's the more you kill, the longer they take. But now there's going to be another one popping around the corner here too, so. So if you kill him, they put him in a random spot. So sometimes he'll be around this corner. And sometimes he'll be right here. Or he'll be right at the entrance of the next part here. If I didn't kill that one, he would actually be a little bit further back. We're going to do a bunch of pause buffers here. Buffer him again. And should be alright. I went the wrong way. So you're supposed to go around the other side. And just totally forgot. Which is why I don't like fighting these guys. Okay, see how long that took to kill that guy? They're not consistent on how much HP they actually have. Also, when you fight them, it turns your character around for some reason, and I don't know who thought that was a good design. It's very annoying. I think, and I might hit him again. No, okay, we should be good to go. Alright, so we're gonna heal up real quick with that steak dinner that I earned. So this one, if we're lucky, we'll only get 3 fights. So if you use the right trigger and you hold down the analog, you do that little chopper attack. If you just hit the right thing, do like this front windmill attack. Alright, so the first one was right there, so that's not too bad. So there's always a trap right there. Let's see what we can get. Ah, see. Second one. Okay, you want to kind of chop her up behind them. When you do get into these fights, in case he does that wide swing right there. So that's a set trap right there. That's always going to be there. Yep. So 3 fights, not too bad. I know there's 4 of those axemen here. Those are just 4 unavoidable fights. And you just have to do them. Or 3 unavoidable fights. There's 4 axemen. I should have got an extra gauze, but we should be alright. So now we turn back to regular Uriko. Whoosh. The strange device. What time is it? So now your Uriko, now you can jump over these blocks. There's an extra healing item here if you need it. I think it raises your heart rate. Causes side effects. Yeah, so it makes your heart rate go up. But since we have a nitroglycerin, that's not really a big deal. So this next boss fight's pretty easy too. So there's a rhythm to this. So I always go off to the side right here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So 2 hits, dodge. 2 hits, dodge. Sometimes you can get 3 hits in. Sometimes he does a fake out. Sometimes you can get 3 hits in there. I usually just do the 2 hits and dodge. Usually he just will swing his vines at you. But overall, pretty easy boss. Make sure our heart rate goes down. We'll wait a couple seconds for the bleed. So if you look at the prizes, you get more money based on what they want you to be at. So they want your goal. They want your hit points to be 250. They want you to have more than 400 adrenaline. They want your bleed to be under 15. And they want you to clear a certain amount of traps, which we didn't clear, but that's alright. And so each time you get penalized for not completing that particular thing. But it's not a big deal until the 4th stage here. And you run out, boom, you're done. Cleared. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So for the next one, I would recommend stocking up